time for a Q&A. But first, guys, I've had my hair done. What do we think? I've had it lightened up a little bit. It's a day after I've had my hair done, and do you ever get it where your hair just doesn't look right the next day? So I feel like I'm really not showing you in its best light. But yeah, I've had it lightened and I love the colour so much. At first I was a bit like, oh god, I said I wouldn't go back like blonder, now here I am. But for the summer months I think it's perfect. But I'm trying to push my fringe aside because that is also like another new thing. But I am so hot. I'm filming this, I'm actually going to tell you, I'm filming this and it is currently, we're having a heat wave in the UK. It's currently 26 degrees and it's only 11 o'clock, so oh my god. It's a Saturday and I thought before I start my weekend I'm going to come on here and answer some of your questions. So I asked you questions on Instagram and some of you lovely people did come back to me, which is always nice. So I'm just going to answer your questions, all health and fitness related. I'm going to start with this one. So this is what to do when I feel the urge to binge. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is actually leave a link down below, and it's going to be called 30 Guide. That is my ultimate guide to quitting the binge cycle by stopping the urge. Binge eating is actually a disorder. It's called binge eating disorder, shortened for bed. So if you went to like a therapist or something, if you mentioned that, they would know what it is. Like, it's a real thing. And I think loads of people just throw like binge eating around like, you know, it's this when you overeat on the weekend and then on Monday you start again. That is an element of it, but the difference between overeating and binge eating is huge. So overeating is like, oh whoops, I've just tracked my calorie and I've gone over. And then binge eating is like, oh my god, I feel so stressed, I physically don't know what to do myself, I cannot control what I'm doing right now, I'm so fixated on that thing, I'm stressing out so much about that thing, that then the binge kind of starts from that moment. Now, binging can happen through any emotion. Mine was stress, but also it used to be excitement. Like, I remember, right, this is really random, I'm going off on one now, but bear with, I'll get to the question. I went on like a staycation with my girls and it was so good and so fun. I literally loved it so much. But I remember just getting so excited that everyone was under one roof and I could just celebrate with the people, like my closest girlfriends at the time. And it was just so nice to be together, that I was so excited that I'd eaten so much. And then the next day it just felt so low. It was like this massive like food come down. It was awful. So yeah, if you relate to any of that, then definitely hit the 30 link down below for the binge eating guide. But yeah, in that guide I've basically got a 4-step process to tell you exactly what to do when you get that urge, so that you can just go, take a moment and just go, am I hungry, or am I just doing this because actually it's like convenient for me right now and I need something to disguise how I'm feeling, or you know, it's really important to understand that. So yeah, if you want that, it's in the description down below. One moment, we've got an interlude from a special someone coming in. Cool. It is so hot and he just keeps wanting to sit on me, and I feel so mean because I left him last night for like 4 hours on his own in his crate with a fan on, don't worry. But yeah, so I feel really bad for like budging him out the way, but I am so hot. I've just done the cleaning and the hoovering. Wild Saturday morning, and I'm sweating. So the next question is this. I always say I'll only have one and then have it all. How do I stop that? Right, I'm going to talk about a cookie. Randomly a cookie. So first, what can I just say, like, this is so normal to have this, and so many people do this. I would say this is more, I'm reading this more in the eyes of like someone that overeats rather than binges. So it is so easy to do it. Like, I've just bought some dark chocolate cookies literally this morning from Tesco, and I probably could have eaten the whole packet. The question I always say when you're eating something or you finish eating, say, if I have one more tomorrow, am I gonna feel guilty? Am I gonna feel like a failure? And if the answer is yes, simply don't go back for more. If you're tracking, track your cookies. So I literally had 2 cookies this morning. Track your 2 cookies and look at your calorie and go, if I eat another one, will it mean that I'll have a really small dinner and be starving by the end of the day? Will it mean that I'll use up most of my calories this morning when actually I could just put it aside and have more high protein meals for the rest of the day. It's going to fill me up and keep me satisfied for longer. They are just a few questions to ask yourself. The biggest thing with overeating that I always say, and this is what I really like to bring into my coaching, is I really like to bring like peace and calm and consciousness, because it is so normal when you overeat to feel this, and binge eat, to feel this adrenaline of emotion, and it's like everything is so fast paced. Basically, story time, buckle up. When I went to Bali, I realised how slow paced their lives are over there. I used to wake up every morning and see this family sitting on a wooden bench, no cushions, no nothing, and their house was completely destroyed and they were renovating, so they were redoing it, so that like no house at all. Like it looked like a house, it looked like a horse's stable. That's the only way I can describe it. And they literally just sat on that bench all day and they did not move. And I'm sure that they would love to have a faster paced life, but the one thing that it taught me is like, wow, these people really do live in the moment. They're not on their phones, they're not looking for the next best thing, they are just taking literally each day as it comes. And that's what I really learned. That's when I really kind of, the penny kind of dropped for me only 2 years ago, that I was like, wow, life doesn't have to be so crazy. So when like you're scavenging around and you're reaching for the next food and you're trying to lose weight and you're really wanting to lose that weight, but you really want that cookie as well, like just take a moment to breathe. Because I always say, binge eating or overeating, you always know the answer. Whether you want to follow that answer is a whole other thing, but you know the answer always. So if you are always reaching for the next cookie, just take a moment to breathe. Just be like, right, think about those questions I just said. Write them down if you need to, reverse back, write them down, do what you need to do, and ask yourself that, because more than likely you'll go, no, I don't need them, I'm just eating from convenience. So yeah, and if you've tried that, let me, like, come back to this video when you've tried and let me know down in the comments, or if you want to keep it a bit more private and personal, then message me on Instagram. I'm always happy to chat. As you guys know, I talk about it all the time, I say it all the time, you're probably bored of it, but do just message. I seriously mean it, because I've got so many other solutions that I know will help for you. So yeah, just message me and I'll be able to help you there if you're still struggling, once you've just paused and asked yourself those questions. Let's go to the next question. This is a bit of a random one. I don't really know how to answer this. It says, when doing your tax returns, do you try and earn under 12k to avoid tax? Okay, well, I don't try and avoid tax, because I try and pay as little as possible, of course, but I don't try and avoid it, because we've all got to pay tax, and I think it's really wrong for someone to pay tax and for some other person not to pay tax. I don't know, I just feel a bit funny about this question, to be honest, but yeah, I pay tax. I guess that's the answer to that. Right, come then, come on. Right, you're gonna stay, if you come and sit on my lap, you have to stay. Come then, out. Honestly, this dog. He's the neediest little boy ever. Okay, next question. How to include foods like cake into my calorie deficit? It seems impossible. Oh girl, I feel you. I was literally the same at the start. I tried to eat really clean, really healthy. I tried to literally eat everything but cake, chocolate, biscuits, etc. Can we just take a moment? He just jumped off, like, make it make sense. But yeah, so I completely understand. The best thing to do when it comes to tracking is, if you are tracking, that is, I do recommend tracking, because it is really educational. No matter how much you think you know about nutrition, there's always more to learn with it, and it's just a really broad subject. Oh my god, it goes mad. But yeah, tracking, there's always so much you can learn from it. I find it really educational, it's great. Anyway, what you should do if you want to eat cake that day is, first of all, if cake is the only, like, if you're tracking everything in 1 week and you want to have some cake, make that your untracked meal. I always say one untracked meal per week literally does nothing to your calorie deficit. A 3-course meal, being 1 meal, will, but just 1 course doesn't. But if you have already had an off-track meal, what I suggest you do is track the cake in the morning. So when you wake up, track all your day, include the cake in. Once you've done that, you're not gonna feel guilty. You're gonna have your high protein meals, you're gonna have your veggies in, you're gonna have that balance, those whole foods, the things that are gonna help you, you know, stay full, energized, and make sure that you are healthy inside, make sure you've got a healthy gut, reduce bloating, gasiness, the list goes on. etc. But you're still allowing for that other thing, basically, that other sweet treat that basically keeps you sane. Can you hear him? Like, honestly, he is going to go for adoption soon, because this week he has tested me. He's really been testing me this week. Like, here he comes. Come on. Okay, next question, let's go. How do I stop the all over it Monday to Friday, but kicking the ass out of it at the weekend? Oh my god, it's so normal. Right, my first thing on this is, I always describe it like this. Did you ever drive home and on the radio you hear them like big up the weekend? Oh, I can't wait for the weekend, blah, blah, blah. That feeling, for me, that talk is so triggering. And I'll tell you why. Because although the weekends are exciting, like many of us don't work, it's like that time to relax, switch off, enjoy life, you know. At the end of the day, it is just another day, and I really despise, actually, when people do that. I'm like, no, like, stop it, because you're actually triggering yourself and people, and to go like off the rails and like, yeah, screw it, it's the weekend, you know. When I just want to say, like, it is just like another 2 days. Brilliant, you've got more time, but just in terms of like nutrition and exercise, just remember that you can still do it on the weekend. You don't have to just like throw the towel in and just give up. If you've got social plans, that's a whole other thing. But yeah, always just try your absolute best to view it, it's a mindset thing, view it as the same as Monday to Friday. Like today, it's Saturday, and I've tracked all of my food into my diary, so I know what I'm having. Today, so that I can make sure that I'm eating enough food, I can make sure I'm eating a variety of foods, and not only that, I can make sure I can spread my meals out, so I don't just like eat all my calories in the morning, have nothing by the evening, and then binge. I have also allowed for an Aperol spritz on my day of eating today, so just so you know, I don't just stick to like really bland, boring foods. Like Aperol is on that list, and whoever asked about the cake, I want you to add the cake onto your list as well today. So yeah, so I think the biggest thing you can do with the all or nothing approach and sort of getting rid of it, sorry, he's now eating a toy. Yeah, but the best thing you can do with the all or nothing approach is literally treat it like a normal day. It's as simple as that, okay? If you want more help on like the nitty-gritty of how, again, measure on Instagram, and I can definitely send you some help personally to you. But yeah, tracking foods that you love into it, viewing it like the weekend, are all really important factors when it comes to binging. My next question is, what is a calorie deficit? Calorie deficit, right, I'm so glad someone's asked this, because I feel like everyone just, if you don't know what it is, you feel like everyone knows, so you don't want to ask. It's like this weird topic, isn't it? Calorie deficit is when you eat less than your maintenance. So if your maintenance was 2,000, subtract 18 to 20%. Okay, so pick one number, 18, 19, 20, whatever one. 18 will be a lower calorie deficit, around 400, and then the 20% will be up to like 500. So that'd be slightly more bigger. So if you're wanting to lose weight sustainably, keep it at the 18% or 19, because then you will lose weight, but you'll make sure it's coming off at a sustainable rate, so you don't gain it all back later. Okay, having said that, if you do the 500 calorie deficit one, that's not the end of the world. But yeah, the more that you eat at the beginning of your calorie deficit, the longer your diet will be, which is a good thing, because it means you'll get to the end goal. So if you're like 80 kg and you want to get to 60, if you were eating 500 calorie deficit, for example, from what I've learned from experience, is you won't necessarily get to the end of that goal, because you will lose weight really quickly, be really tired, you'll have no energy, you'll feel really hungry in the early stages, because your body's got less food, basically. And so yeah, so if you basically have more, so basically more story is, have a smaller calorie deficit at the beginning, and then as your body starts to slow down and not lose as much weight, then make it bigger. That's the best way to do it, basically. Yeah, I definitely have clients that eat like in a 500 calorie deficit, definitely. But it really is so important to follow your body and not someone else's, if you know what I mean, because it's so individual. It really is. What I was going to say, actually, if you don't know your maintenance, message me on Instagram and I'll literally work out for you. I could give you the Harris-Benedict equation. That is a good way to do it, but I'll be honest, it's not always accurate. And I just sort of, I just know what people need in terms of food and like how much just on the 6 years of coaching. So it will just be easier if I work it out for you, if I'm honest. So yeah, just let me know. That concludes my question. So thank you for asking on Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, go and follow it. It's Lucy Rose Burns. I hope this was helpful. Guys, I will see you there. Thank you for watching and listening. I apologise to the dog. And I look forward to the next one. Bye.